Unit 15 Technology. Lesson 2 Grammar. Conditional sentences. There are 4 types of conditionals. In this lesson, we are going to talk about 2 types: the first conditional and the second conditional. Type 1. The first conditional. We use if and the present simple in if clause, then comma, and will infinitive in the main clause. But when we use if in the middle, we do not use a comma. Uses. Number 1. We use the first conditional when we talk about possible future actions. Examples: if you go near my dog, it will bite you. In if clause, the verb go is present simple, and the verb of the main clause is will bite. If he loses the game, he will be sad. In if clause, the verb loses is present simple, and the verb of the main clause is will be. Mark won't buy the book if the bookshop is closed. In if clause, we have is, and it is present simple, of course. And in the main clause, the verb is will not buy. If Emma doesn't catch the train, she will get the next one. In if clause, the verb doesn't catch is present simple in the negative form, and the verb of the main clause is will get. We also use the first conditional in offers, promises, suggestions, warnings, and threats. And pay attention, we can use can or may instead of will in the main clause. Examples: offer: if you need a ticket, I can get you one. In if clause, need is in the present simple, and in the main clause, we use can instead of will. Suggestion: if you feel like eating now, we can go to a restaurant. In if clause, the verb feel is present simple, and in the main clause again we use can instead of will. Warning: if you go on like this, you'll make yourself ill. In if clause, the verb go on is in the present simple, and the verb of the main clause is will make. Threat: if you don't apologize, I'll never speak to you again. In if clause, the verb don't apologize is in the present simple, and the verb of the main clause is will never speak. Promise: if I have free time, I may help you. In if clause, The verb have is in the present simple, and in the main clause we use may instead of will. Type 2. The second conditional. We use if and the past simple if clause, then comma, and would plus infinitive in the main clause. But when we use if in the middle, we do not use a comma. Uses. We use the second conditional when we talk about unreal or improbable situations. Examples. If Mike was here, he would know what to do. The verb in if clause is was, and it is in the past simple. And the verb in the main clause is would know. If I had $1 million, I would buy a villa. The verb in if clause is had in the past simple, and the verb in the main clause is would buy. We would speak English very well if we were American. The verb in if clause is were in the past simple, and the verb in the main clause is would speak. We also use the second conditional to give advice. Example: if I were you, I would ask a doctor for some advice. The verb in if clause is were in the past simple, and the verb in the main clause is would ask. And pay attention that we use were instead of was in the if clause when we give advice. We can also use could or might instead of would in the main clause. Examples: if I learned how to drive, I could drive to work every day. The verb in if clause is learned in the past simple, and the verb in the main clause is could drive. I might travel on a holiday if I had more money. The verb in if clause is had in the past simple, and the verb in the main clause is might travel.